You know, sometimes I try and give the DA a bit of grace. I mean, I do criticize them quite a lot. I criticize the ANC quite a lot. I criticize a lot of politicians and political parties on this channel quite a lot. It's my right to do so. I have opinions. I feel I'm happy to share them with you and also bring to your attention some things that seem shady or disappointing. And unfortunately, in this video, I cannot believe what I'm about to show you. DA, you have changed. You are no longer the DA we once thought you were. It seems like all the rumors that you are ANC Lite are true. That's what we're going to talk about in this video, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get into it.
When people zone
have our smallanyana skeletons.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so some of you might know Pete LaRue from Sakeliga. He's a very, very smart man. I love the work that he does at Sakeliga. I advocate for businesses in South Africa that are very much against BEE and harmful policies towards South African businesses and have done tremendous work on making sure that harmful legislation towards South African businesses are basically terminated or dealt with. Sakeliga has taken the ANC to court many times over BEE legislation and have won quite a lot of significant court cases. But now Pete LaRue put out an interesting tweet not too long ago, and yeah, I'm quite disappointed, but he has a very good point. Let's have a look. So this is the tweet that Pete put out. What is the DA's position on the Expropriation Act? March 2024, the expropriation bill is expropriation without compensation, snuck through the legislative back door, EWC in disguise, despite clear red line, reckless attack on the Constitution, unconstitutional, direct threat, ruinous. But in February of 2025, not a biggie, room for improvement, all in hand, not expropriation without compensation, not a sneaky workaround to get past the Constitution.
What?
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Where does Pete come off with this? Where's the proof? Well, Pete included screenshots from the DA's own press releases talking about expropriation or the expropriation bill in 2024. Here's one. So here you can see this was a press release from DA in 20th of March 2024, where the DA calls it ruinous, where they say there's nothing more than introducing expropriation without compensation through the legislative back door, inconsistent with Section 25 of the Constitution. Expropriation with nil compensation. It's right there at the bottom. This bill that is nothing more than expropriation without compensation in disguise. This is what the DA has said in another press release on the 28th of March 2024. The DA called it reckless attack on the Constitution. They said the expropriation bill is unconstitutional, poses a direct threat to the Bill of Rights. They also said at the bottom there, can introduce expropriation without compensation through the legislative back door, despite a clear red line warning them that they will be violating Section 25 of the Constitution, which provides the property can only be expropriated subject to compensation. ANC snuck provision into the bill to allow for expropriation with nil compensation. They even said it's the ANC's descent into lawlessness. And this brings us to the 3rd of February 2025 DA press release. DA clarifies misconceptions and reaffirms commitment to fostering strong SA-US relations. Here it is. While the Act does need to be amended to meet the sequencing requirements, what the hell does that even mean? As highlighted by the Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean McPherson, there are also opportunities to deal with other concerns that have been raised in the public since the assertion of the Act. However, it is not true that the Act allows land to be seized by the state arbitrarily, and it does require fair compensation for legitimate expropriations in terms of Section 25 of the Constitution. It is unfortunate that individuals have sought to portray this Act as an amendment to Section 25 of the Constitution to allow for expropriation without compensation. So again, what a flip-flop from the DA.
What the hell?
And this is extremely disappointing. They went from basically saying, we're going to fight this tooth and nail. We're going to draw a line in the sand when it comes to expropriation. And then once it's implemented, they're just like, no, guys, it's not really that bad. You guys need to really read the law. But it is that bad. People are already taking it upon themselves to expropriate land. It's happening right now in South Africa, just a few days after the signing of this bill. Now, granted, this isn't the government that is doing this or implementing this per se, but this is a result of what happened when Cyril signed this bill. Is now these South Africans think it's okay to just take land. That's number one. And number two, the Expropriation Act recently signed into law by Cyril Ramaphosa does provide for property confiscation, in particular to Section 12.3, where it allows government to take property for nil compensation. Now, you can play semantics all you like. You can try and say, well, nil is not zero, or I don't know what they're trying to even say sometimes. But at the end of the day, nil does mean zero. Nil means nothing. So it does allow for the government to take your property without compensation. And anybody who argues differently really needs to get their head checked. And the fact that the DA is now lying down and almost seemingly allowing this to happen, what happened to that court case? What happened to taking to the Constitutional Court? What happened to all that? I don't know what's going on with the DA. Maybe I need to look more into it. But right now, it's not looking good, and it's very disappointing to see this from the DA. I do believe personally that the national DA, the John Steenhuisen and Zilla and all the ones that are in the national government are different to the DA that are at the Western Cape. I think the Western Cape DA is somewhat different in the sense that, well, first of all, they're just trying to hold on to the Western Cape and make sure that the ANC doesn't get it. Secondly, they're running the Western Cape better than any other province. So I'll give them credit where it's due, because I know a lot of you are going to point that out in the comment section. But we got to remind ourselves that the DA needs to be held accountable as well. We need to call them out when they promise something. And this should have been a very strong line in the sand. And I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but they can't leave the JNU, or they shouldn't leave the GNU, whatever, what fish-based. At this point, the ANC is doing such a great job of destroying the DA, making them look weak, making them look like hypocrites. Their voter base is definitely dwindling. Nobody is happy about this. The ANC is winning no matter what. So it's time for the DA to jump ship and start protecting themselves, do damage control, and be the opposition or something, because them in power, because everybody argues with me, no, but they need to be in GNU to stop this. They have more power in the GNU, but fuck all has happened. They've done fuck all, guys. Everything has been pushed through, and they probably spend millions of taxpayer money on court cases and stuff like that, to which we don't hear much of. And even when they are successful, they are not really successful, and the law is changed just a little bit, and then they tell you, oh, we're going to ensure that the law is done properly or implemented properly, whatever the hell that means.
I can't believe this is happening.
All I know is the DA is looking very weak. This is very disappointing. And let me know your thoughts on this. Do you have any faith in the DA? Do you think the DA is still going to fight hard? Or do you think the DA has become the ANC Lite? Let me know in the comment section below. While you're there, leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way. Thanks for watching. Your newsflash is in.
Water.
Okay, sparkling water.
Tea.
Chai tea.
Coffee.
Espresso.
Soda.
Root beer.
Milkshake.
Beer.
Sprite.
Ginger beer.
7-Up.
Okay, ginger ale.
Oh, okay. I thought I was just gonna win there. Wine.
Okay, white wine.
Red wine.
Orange crush.
Orange juice.
Tab, going old school.
Apple juice.
Cranberry juice.
Oh, I keep thinking I'm gonna win. Pomegranate juice.
Tart cherry juice.
Gatorade.
Oh, Powerade.
No.